Hello again and welcome to the channel. My name's Annie and this is my creative detour. Today is Full Deck Challenge 3 day and it's run by Shana from ShanoukiArt, and we're working on card number 47 and the prompt is Under the Sea this week. Now I actually did an Under the Sea themed card a few weeks ago when our prompt was circles, but I'm going to do another one today. Now, our card last week, I need to carry something forward. So what I'm going to carry forward is I'm going to do some sort of wash on the background. You can't really see it too much on this card, but I did a gold wash on the background. And I'm also going to carry over some gold splatters. And I have to use, as my constant, I have to use some paint swatches. So I've got some die cuts of some paint swatches to use in today's card. But let's get set up and I'll show you what I'm going to be doing. Okay, I have already prepped the card a little bit to get the video going along. You've seen me do this quite a few times this year already. I have just collaged the background. Now all I did was I tore up some strips of paper out of I think it's an Italian dictionary, but I just pulled that out. Now I'm going to put a little bit of gesso onto that to pull it back to white before I drop some acrylic ink onto the background and make it look watery. I have die cut out some leaves that look a little bit like kelp, and I've got a few starfish and some cogs, and you can see that I've got a cog here as well. And I'm using a steampunk pattern paper collection from Graphic 45, and it's called Voyage Beneath the Sea. And the collection has lots of steampunky under the sea kind of themed characters in it, and fish and, starfish, octopus and coral and all that sort of thing. So I took out this gentleman out of this page and I've just put him onto some cardstock and fussy cut him out, and he's on a golden fish, like a goldfish, and that has a few cogs on it, and he's got some reins on it, and he's riding the goldfish. He's a very dapper gentleman, isn't he, with his green suit and his top hat. So I'm going to be using him, and I'm going to put a little bit of a steampunk theme onto the card. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to gesso this and put some color onto it. So let's do that. Yes, I'm just going to put a little bit of gesso on this to pull it back and to prep it to put a little bit of pigment onto it. Now I think I'm going to use acrylic ink. You can see that we can still see our King of Diamonds there, and I'm going to use some Anko acrylic ink, Viridian, and the ultramarine blue. We'll use those. Now I just got these from Kmart here in Australia. Okay, that's dried now, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drop a little bit of acrylic ink onto it and hit it with some water. I've got a sprayer here. And we'll put a little bit of the Viridian on, just at the bottom. Get them to blend together a bit. And I'm just going to dry that off. Okay, I'm happy with that. You can see that I have dried that off, and it's just got a little bit of blue and green onto it that have blended together to look a little bit watery. So what we might do now is put the back of the card on. Now you can see that I cut out a piece of that paper, pattern paper from Graphic 45, and I've stamped it with today's date. Today is the 28th of November. And I'm just going to glue that onto the back. So let's do that. The year's ticking along, isn't it? It's getting exciting, getting ready for Christmas. My grandchildren are starting to get excited. We've got our Christmas concert tonight at school. It's an open air concert because obviously here it's quite hot at the moment. We've had some very, very hot days, some big afternoon storms. So we will be having a outdoor concert on the sports oval of the school, and we'll have Christmas carols and some performances. I think Santa might be coming actually. He's got time to stop by because it's only November. So we've got some very excited children today. Okay, so let's have a look at how all these things come together. So we have a cog that we're going to put on. I have our hero, and he's looking very sprightly because he's riding a goldfish. And the goldfish has cogs that make it work around its stomach. We have some kelp that we'll put down as well because he's riding through the kelp. I've got a cog because I need to support his tail somehow. I also have a few other bits of greenery to maybe stick down. I have a few starfish and a few other cogs. Another piece of kelp over here. Now I also have a sentiment, and I have some other cogs that are die cut out of paint swatches. So let's pull out a couple of those. Now I cut these for when I did my owl card, and it's got a few cogs on it, so we'll use some of those. Okay, I've had a little bit of a play and figured out where I want things. I'm just going to glue down some of these cogs that I've pulled out. But the first thing I'm going to do is position my fish so that his tail is supported. I'm just going to glue on the cog first of just where I need it to support the tail of the fish, because it will get bent in my big bundle of cards. And I did pull out a sentiment, and I pulled it out from Tim Holtz's Ideology Small Talk Snarky. And the sentiment is, I've got it all together, but I forgot where I put it. And I thought this was perfect because he's riding a goldfish, and goldfish swim around and they forget everything, and they come back around the bowl and, ask the same questions. So he's riding a goldfish because he's forgotten everything, but he's convincing himself that he's got everything together. So that was a bit of fun. Now I'm going to just glue him down, but I want to tuck behind here a cog just to help define him a little bit. So let's put a little bit of glue on here on this die cut cog, and I'm just going to put that so that I can put a hole through it. Now before I get too far along, I think I'm going to draw some lines around this. I'm just going to draw a border line around the perimeter of this card because I think that it will help define the edge. And I'm going to stick this little piece of kelp over on this side. And this was just out of a die that I had in my stash. I think it's a retired Stampin' Up! Die. Not sure of the name, but I've had it for quite a few years. I need to keep using my supplies that I've invested in. And I'm going to put our gentleman on. He's pretty cute, isn't he? Let's glue him on and get that tail set. Now I have inked this. I inked it when I cut it out. So let's get that tail set so it's supported. Just hold him for a bit till he bites onto all of that irregular background. And I'm going to put this kelp on as well. I like the colour combination of this tealy colour with the orangey, burnt orangey colour of the fish. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to also put a few cogs on in different places just to support some of those leaves that are going off. And I also have a starfish to stick in because, well, why not? Why wouldn't you have a starfish floating around? Now, where are we going to put our sentiment? And I'm going to cut the sentiment down. It says, I've got it all together, but I forgot where I put it. And I'm going to actually put the but I forgot where I put it on the back, because he keeps swimming around and around and around, convincing himself that he's got it all together, but he can't remember or find what he was after. So I'm going to put that part onto the back. So let's work out where we want these cogs and where we want our sentiment. Oh, let's put a cog down here out of our paint swatch just to build up this a bit. And another metallic cog. Let's find another metallic cog. Yes, it just needs to go on the other side to balance it a bit. Okay, I'm just going to stick this sentiment on. It's going to need a little bit of glue on it because my surface is so uneven. Put that through the middle of that cog. And I've just got this paint swatch cog to go on. Finish it off. So I think that it just needs, I was going to do some gold splatters because I did gold splatters from last week, but I'm just going to carry over some splatters. I carried over the wash in the background in a different colour, so I'll carry over the splatters just in a different colour. Now I've got it all together on the front, and then I'm going to stick, but I forgot where I put it, and I'm going to put that on the back. Actually, I might run it up crooked because that kind of makes sense that it's, you know, in an unusual position because he doesn't know where he's put stuff. He's forgotten. So let's clear the decks and then we'll come back and put some white splatters on it and have a look at our card. Okay, so let's put on a few white splatters, and I'm going to use Liquitex acrylic ink, and I'm just going to tap out a few splatters. Now I want to miss his face, and I want to miss the sentiment down here. So let's cover that up. Okay, we'll dry that off. I've got it all over my arm. Now I'm thinking that I would just like to put a few shadows around with my pen. So I'm just going to go around some of the things, probably around the fish, just to add a little bit of shadowing around our man so he stands out a bit more. Okay, that looks a little bit better with just a few lines around him. Now let's have a little look. We have our prompt number 47, and it is under the sea, and we have a steampunk undersea theme, and we have this gentleman here in his top hat and his green suit, and he's riding a goldfish around and around in the sea, and he's convincing himself that he has got it all together, going around and around, but on the back it says, but I forgot where I put it, just like a goldfish forgets everything. So that's my card for today. Now we carried over our wash in the background, just in a different colour, and some splatters, just in a different colour. And I've put some cogs on that I die cut out of paint swatch. So there we go. Hopefully you liked the card today and enjoyed the story about our steampunk undersea themed card. Let's add that to our family. So that's all from me today. Thank you so much for watching and coming back week after week, watching us do our full deck challenge. I really appreciate it. And we've only got 5 cards left to do for the rest of the year. So it's getting close to finishing. So thank you for always tuning in and watching. I really appreciate it. If you like the card and the video, give it a thumbs up. That would be great. And subscribe to the channel. And have a great few days creating something fun and new. And I'll see you very soon with another project. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye for now.